Afternoon here in London, but for a capacity crowd, there is nowhere they would rather be than the Brixton Rec in London for the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic. My name's Liam Jefferson, and I'm joined with Cola coach Jackson Gibbons to take you through this afternoon's action. And Jackson, the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic is always a standout on the British basketball calendar. Just what can we look forward to in this 2 p.m. underclassmen game?
I think it's going to be an incredible afternoon of basketball, and it's going to be a hard act to follow the girls yesterday. I think it was a really exciting game. So now I think we're all looking forward to a little bit more high-flying action, you know, the boys to really come out and compete. And we call it an all-star game, but it got really competitive really early yesterday, and I foresee the same thing happening with the boys today. I like one of the teams slightly more than the other. I'm favouring them, but we never know what's going to happen once the ball goes up.
And some people have been saying the underclassmen game is the warm-up to the class of 2019 game, but these guys out here are going to have something else to say about that.
You've literally got some monsters out there. You've got guys flying all over the court, trying to tear down the rim. It's just, it's going to be an exciting afternoon.
And is there any players in particular that you're really looking forward to seeing on either Team Black or Team White?
Yeah, I've got a couple of kind of notable names that everybody's thinking about. You know, obviously everyone's looking forward to Jeremy Sochan playing. You know, we've got Amari Williams. You've got Big Sam up at Myerscough. I'm also looking forward to guys like David Chive from over in JMA, because I think he's an underrated player that can bring something to this game. And Josh Uduje, I think he's going to be a guy that could bring a lot to this game. So I think another favourite of mine, I think he's an under-the-radar guy as well, Bradley Kaboza from up at Myerscough. I think he had a really solid season and led them to a national championship. So, you know, there's varying talent, it's a wide array of talent. I think it's going to be a good display.
It's going to be an afternoon of British basketball spectacle here at the Brixton Rec. And just as we get ready for tip-off, I caught up a little bit earlier with Cameron Hildreth of the Sussex Storm to get his views on today's game. Welcome to the Brixton Rec, where we are for the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic, and I'm joined with Cameron Hildreth of the Sussex Storm. And Cam, a bit of a breakout year for you and huge performances. I think a 48-point performance in the final to win the championship. Just give us a bit of a recap on your season this year.
Okay, so our season's been up and down. We've lost a few games we shouldn't have lost. We've won a few games we probably shouldn't have won. But we really deserve winning, I think, because we work really hard week in, week out.
Nice. And another year next year, not sure what you're doing quite yet, but what are you kind of looking to get out of next season?
Next season, I'm just looking to improve my game and try and show as many people as can what I'm capable of doing.
I think you've already started to do that this year with some of the highlights that we've been seeing on Hoopsfix, and that's led to you being selected today to play for Team White. Just talk to us a little bit about what it means for you personally to be selected to play in the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic underclassmen game.
It's awesome. I mean, this I can't really put it into words how awesome it is, because I'm just going to be able to show everyone what I'm capable of doing and have a bit of fun, meet new people, become friends from people I didn't expect to be friends with.
And is there anyone that you're either looking forward to being on the same team as today for Team White or playing against for Team Black?
So I used to play with Blaize Sagna a lot when I was younger, and it's nice to see him because I haven't seen him in a while, so being with him is going to be awesome.
Nice. And then final question, I guess, for you before I let you go and carry on with your media and photos that you've been doing outside is, what are your kind of aspirations for the future? What is it that you want to get out of the game of basketball, and where are you looking to take your career?
I'm looking to go as far as I can with basketball. I want basketball to be my job, because I feel as basketball is basically my life. I mean, I don't know how to put it into words. Like, thank you. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so you can check Cam and Team White as they go up against Team Black here in the Brixton Rec at 2 p.m. on our YouTube channel, so make sure that you don't miss it. So welcome to the Brixton Rec for this afternoon's Hoopsfix All-Star Classic underclassmen game to get us underway on day 2 of the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic. As I was saying, my name is Liam Jefferson, joined by City of London Academy Jackson Gibbons, and we'll be calling the game for you today. And Jackson, fresh off the All-Star Classic's first ever women's game yesterday, and how was the experience of coaching in that game?
Absolutely fantastic. I really blown away by the talent level of all of the girls. Some of the girls we've been competing against for the last 3 or 4 years, and so to actually, you know, be on the same sideline as them and really be exposed to their talent from a different angle was incredible. They're a really talented bunch of girls. We didn't come out on the winning side, which is fine. I hope and I pray that all of the girls enjoyed the experience. It felt like a really positive experience on our bench, and I definitely enjoyed it.
And you'll see on the stream that the teams are currently being introduced to the capacity sellout crowd. This game selling out, or today rather, selling out days, almost weeks in advance of today's game. And just how important is the Classic in the British basketball calendar for both the community of British basketball, but these young players on show today as well?
I think it means everything to these young players. You know, I would imagine Sam's email address is popping off, you know, weeks before. How can I get in the game? You know, why haven't I been selected for the game and stuff? And it's not him as an individual that selects the players. He has a committee that, you know, he appoints. It's just, you can tell it means everything to the guys. They're all hyped, they're all amped, and I guess it qualifies you, or it shows that you are one of the top 24 players in your age group in the country, and everybody wants that title. So definitely important for these guys. You can see how pumped they are for the occasion. And
let's not diminish the fact that it's also a great recognition and accolade for the coaches, such as yourself and Nick Drain in the women's game, and then today Troy Cully of Myerscough and Craig Nichol of the City of Edinburgh Kings. So two distinguished coaches in the junior game as well, getting a chance to almost show their coaching talents today as well.
For sure, and I don't know Craig personally, I know Troy, and Troy has definitely put in the hard graft over the years. I'm really pleased for him that he's been able to receive an accolade like this, because he really has worked hard to become one of the better coaches in this country. He's applied himself, so well deserved to Troy. And Craig as well has a great reputation, so you know, two really fine coaches to help lead these boys in this game and help them enjoy the experience.
And if you are just tuning in to this YouTube live stream of the Hoopsfix Underclassmen All-Star Classic, make sure that you are following us on our social media channels at Hoopsfix and at Hoopsfix Women, as well as the hashtag HASC19. And we've got a quick opportunity to thank our sponsors for making the event today possible as well. So Nike, Molten, SportServe, 506, ESPN Player, Let Me Play, and Always Ballin'. A huge thank you to you as well. We are now just over 2 minutes away from tip-off. Teams have been introduced and are lined up on the free throw lines. And everybody in the Brixton Rec currently on their feet.
One of the great, not only coaches, but one of the mentors and one of the great people in basketball. We're standing here in the house that he built. Earlier this year in January at the NBA game, I was pleased to be able to announce that we would do a minute's applause for him at the NBA game. That is how far this guy's reputation and respect for him travelled. So, ladies and gentlemen, he would have loved it to have been here. He's looking down on us. Can we please have a minute's applause for the one, the only, Mr. Jimmy Rogers.
And a great touching tribute there for the late, great Jimmy Rogers, who built the reputation of the Rough House.
Yeah, that was a bit of an emotional experience for me. I played for Jimmy. I consider this one of my two basketball homes, and he was a legendary person. And as you know, Simon just said, genuinely one of the best people you'll ever meet. He was controversial. He had opinions. He was never going to hold back his opinion, but he just cared for kids in this community so much and helped so many players go on and achieve greatness within the game. And there were so many players that never got notoriety, and Jimmy was still a father figure to them and still helped push them forward. So really touching tribute from Hoopsfix and Sam. You know, I really feel touched by that.
And so now we are just 2 minutes away from the opening of day 2 in the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic, and we were treated yesterday to the women's game and the inaugural 3-point contest as well, which both Jackson and myself were fortunate enough to call. And if yesterday's entertainment was anything to go by, we're in for a thoroughly entertaining afternoon today as well, as both Team White and Team Black are going to want to take home the honours here in the Rough House.
It'd be interesting to see how this game starts off. Yesterday, the girls' game started off, and everybody was going 95% from the beginning, and it just etched up as the game went along. And it'd be interesting to see whether the boys come out looking for highlights or whether they come out looking to play a good brand of basketball and enjoy the afternoon and start really pushing each other from the very, very beginning. There's some characters, Louis-Cuffy Norton-Cuffy, should I say, and David Chive are going to push each other from the very beginning. They've been going at it for the last couple of years, so I think it'll start aggressive.
I am so excited for this game to start, and just looking around the gym is absolutely packed out. I don't see a single seat free other than the 2 sub chairs next to us on the table, as both Simon Ozana and Tahir Hadjit get the crowd going with some Nike freebies. So again, another thank you to our sponsors. But if you're new to Hoopsfix All-Star Classic, it is a weekend showcase of British basketball, both talent and culture. And it aims to recognise and celebrate some of the country's best players who spend so much of their time receiving very little acknowledgement of their achievements in the country. And it is just, I think the culture piece there is the big bit that always comes through. It's just such a celebration of British basketball culture. The talent is always on display. We've seen some great performances in the past. Names like Zion Tordov, Jedi Zuapatis, and Adi Adebayo last year took MVP honours in this, and he's going to be playing in the 4 p.m. game later on. So intriguing to see who steps up and gets the big highlight and the big plays and the dub today as well.
Ade's performance will be a hard one to follow from last year.
Yeah.
He was really motivated. And as you said, guys in the past, like Zion and Gedi Uazapaitis, those guys really came out and stamped their authority on the game. And the good thing was with Ade last year, and especially with Gedi's performance a couple of years ago, they came out passing, they came out sharing the ball, but when it was winning time, they really turned the screw and ramped things up.
So customary handshakes in what is probably going to be the last friendly exchange between those 2 teams. If the women's game yesterday was anything to go by, as Jackson was saying, it started at such a frantic pace, but just the competitive nature of that game yesterday blew both me and Siobhan Pryor on the mic away, really. And it didn't let up for the full 40 minutes. So if we see a pace like that today, we will be getting some huge highlight plays.
Lovely to see all of the girls back out today to come and support the boys. And there were so many boys down yesterday supporting the girls' game. Girls' game was packed yesterday, but it feels like there's a few more people in here today to celebrate the boys.
And Kaboza makes the first 2 of the game out of Myerscough College to give Team Black the early advantage. And it's rebounded by Team Black. Veron Eze across to Louis Norton-Cuffy. Cuffy on the ball, comes off the horn set. These 2 teams having a walkthrough earlier on this morning to get ready for the game. Huge! Oh no, I thought we had a first big block. It was 45 seconds into the game, but it's going to be a foul called, and it's going to go on number 11.
45 seconds in, this looks like the girls' game from yesterday. They're not taking their foot off the gas.
So heading to the line to shoot 2 is Franklin Agu out of the Haringey Hawks. And I watched this guy play in the ABL finals down at the University of Essex Arena. Had a huge game as he led Haringey to the ABL Championship title and won MVP in that game as well. He's a really exciting prospect.
Such a physical young man. Everybody knows his older brother Obi over in the States, who's currently about to make his decision for where he's going to go next year. And And Franklin is not the same player, but he's a similarly physical player to Obi and very versatile, but likes to throw his weight around inside.
Norton-Cuffy back on the ball for Team Black. Again, coming off the horn set. Pulls up from 3, no good. And Body's battling for the rebound. Hildreth advances to Sagna. Sagna attacks baseline, up and under.
Wow.
And that would have been a tough take for Blaize Sagna, and another foul called. That one's going to go on Franklin Nagu for Team Black.
Ethan Price coming looking to throw it down early.
I mean, everybody, whenever you think back to the Classic, thinks back to that Kyle Carey dunk from a few years ago. Yeah. It's got to be the biggest play we've ever seen at the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic, and still people talk about it whenever they talk about the Classic coming to town.
Nearly caused the court invasion that day.
I think he did, if I remember. The referees had to pause the game. It's something you usually see on the American highlight sites in Hoopsfix. Getting a load of views off of that highlight. So Norton-Cuffy comes off the screen, guarded tightly by Sagna. Loses the handle and goes out of bounds. So Team White will get possession back, trailing 3-1, just 1 minute 30 into the game.
Seems like both teams are feeling each other out at the moment.
And probably getting used to playing together as well, because I know speaking to a lot of these young men prior to the game, they were really excited to play with opponents that they've competed against over the years, but it's sometimes difficult when you don't have that familiarity with someone. You're not sure where they want the ball, where they like it. I mean, they're all going to be looking for an alley-oop, obviously. They're all going to be advancing in transition, but outside of that, you've got to really feel out how your teammates play quite a bit, quite quickly as well.
Yeah, one of the things you probably shouldn't do in the walkthrough prior is try and work on timing, because you just don't have enough time. You just try and give the players a formation or a set just to start with, and let them have their natural feel, like play through their natural feel.
So Kaboza at the line. Won the Under-18 National Championship with Myerscough this year. And also one of the players that represented out in Europe at the EYBL, where Myerscough made the Final Four, finished in the top 4 of that competition. So another huge achievement for a British program venturing into European competition at the junior age group. Norton-Cuffy no good with the corner 3. Sagna pushes the pace, stops, pops, no good. Rebounded by Grant. Grant goes up and he gets the easy 2 at the basket. Ball in the hands of Kaboza. Inside to Agu, pulls up for 2, no good. Huge rebound for Veron Eze. Ethan Price keeps it in. Sagna throws it up. Soshan had signaled for it. Advance pass to Eze, who went up as if he was going to dunk it. Cameron Hildreth said, I'm going to challenge. Eze adjusted. Nice baseline cut from Price, and Soshan finds him, and now the game starts to open up a little bit.
And that's one of the most impressive things about Jeremy Soshan. He can score, but he passes the ball so well for one so young, so well.
Kaboza spins, loses the handle. Sagna comes up with the ball, and Sagna pushes the pace, gets the rim, blocked by Norton-Cuffy. A little bit of white ball from the baseline.
Got some early subs coming in.
Yeah, subs for both teams. Theo Hughes comes in for the white. And then for black, Sulaiman and Chris Feeney come into the game. Sulaiman back in the UK after playing at West Nottingham Academy last year, and currently number 2 in the Dencamp top 50 rankings.
It's another great event that happens over the summer that the kids really care about. They're all vying to get into it, and everybody cares about getting in the top 20. So to be number 2.
Yeah, it is a big achievement. And that's, like you say, another huge event in the British basketball calendar. I've been fortunate enough to be involved in that for the last 2 years, both commentating and coaching. There's Hughes with the rebound and put back inside. But there's another event that just puts the junior British basketball scene on the map, really. Veron Eze steps back, 3, it's good!
Veron, one of the more athletic players in this game, I'm sure, physically imposing, so strong.
Soshan on the perimeter, guarded by Eze, hands off to Hildreth. Hildreth spins back, finds Price, across to Soshan. He answered, no, airball with the 3. It looked good as it left his hand. Feeney has it now and pushes for Team Black. Finds Eze, nowhere to go as Soshan cooks off the line, and Feeney from deep. Rebounded by his Barking Abbey teammate Theo Hughes, but competing for Team White today. Soshan inside, misses the dunk. Eze behind the back against Price. Oohs and ahs from the crowd, and then Sulaiman gets to the basket for 2.
Hard to believe that some of these guys have still got another year.
Some of them 2 years.
Yeah, some of them 2 years, just how physically developed they are. I mean, you've got some guys with some really impressive bodies, some great length.
Theo Hughes drilling the 3 to get Team White back within 1. Norton-Cuffy shaking and baking against Hildreth. Almost blocked by Price, but a goaltend is called. And subs for both teams. It's Ben Winter and Sanmi and Fajana come in for Team Black. And then Uduje checks in for Team White. Sorry, Sami Alajiki comes in for Team White as well, out of Canterbury. Chive on the ball for White. Looks to find Soshan baseline. To Alajiki, hands off to Hughes. Hughes to Chive. Chive pulls up for 3. Back rims it. Rebounded by Igu, and Black are out in transition. Feeney loses the handle. And that's where sometimes wanting to get out in transition, you can tend to just go a little bit too quick for your own good. Chive finds Hughes inside. Nice. Finger roll, no good. Goes out of bounds, and it'll be a Team White ball.
Lewis McGlasson in the game now. I think they'll start to extend, start to look for some long-range bombs. One of the better shooters in this underclassmen game.
Saw him competing alongside his teammate from Team Black and Scotland teammate Chris Feeney, both of them representing in that inaugural 3-point contest yesterday. Feeney now has it, steps back, finds Sulaiman, steps out of bounds. It'll be a Team White ball. And that inaugural 3-point contest yesterday won by Reece Sundermolt, and both Jackson and myself were blown away by his final round. It didn't look like he was shooting particularly well, and then he got to the middle rack as Uduje goes down the lane.
Goodness. Kyle Carey might have some competition after that one. That's an incredible dunk.
We have our first dunk of the day, and that came absolutely out of nowhere. Chive this time goes baseline. Finds Alajiki, sorry, and he's fouled. But how about that from Josh Uduje, recent NBL Division 4 playoff final MVP with London Thunder. Absolutely flew out of nowhere. Sam Alajiki at the line now. His debut in the Classic. They're turning a few heads this year for Canterbury, playing for their Division 4 side, as well as in the ABL, averaged 9.8 points per game.
Which might not jump off the page at you, but on a deep team like Canterbury that spreads their minutes around, that is, you know, a good contribution in a league like this.
And there he was out of nowhere, blocking, but I think it came after the whistle. He really got up there. But yeah, you're right, on a team like Canterbury where they share their minutes, but also in your first season,
yeah,
to be able to put up almost double-digit points, along with 5.9 rebounds. It's a big debut performance. And the referee's just conferring as to whether or not that would have been a goaltend, but it looked clean as he blocked it, even though it was after the whistle.
The game really has started off very similar to the girls' game yesterday. Nobody is letting up. Just keep it playing as hard as they can for as long as they can and before the coaches take them out. So you can see it means a lot to the players already.
I think that came through yesterday in the women's game with both yourself and Coach Nick Drain coaching in that game. In that you have to share the minutes for everyone. You have to make sure that everybody gets an equal opportunity. But because everyone already knew that coming into the game, they were just relentless for the time that they were on the floor and gave it their all. Came out, got a breather, and then went back straight at it again.
Yeah, and we used two very different techniques. We used a platoon-style substitution method, which, you know, I felt worked for us. And Nick got everybody in the game, but at individual substitutions and individual moments, which worked as well. So just two different styles. Hopefully the girls enjoyed it.
Shot clock down to 6. Team White have to get a shot up. It comes out to Uduje. 3-pointer, no good, and a big rebound for Ben Winter, who advances the pace. Tipped away, finds Tomiwa. Sulaiman goes against Hughes and is blocked by Alajiki again. Feeney for 3 off the loose ball. And bodies flying everywhere. And a huge dunk baseline! Blake Bowman on Chris Feeney. Sammy Fajana answers with a 3 at the other end, and now we are end-to-end action.
Now they're going. What a dunk.
Hughes goes baseline and is fouled. How about Blake Bowman, though, out of the Derby Trailblazers?
I did not expect that.
And that got everybody out of their seats here at the Rough House, the Brixton Rec.
It's 2 big dunks for Team White so far, really taking it to the rim.
Interestingly, neither of those guys, I don't think, are in our dunk contest later on, so maybe we need to re-look. Sorry, no, no, those 2 guys aren't. Sam Alajiki is. But actually, Josh Uduje and Blake Bowman, maybe we need some late call-ups for that.
Really, 2 extra additions. That's tough.
Tough move.
Ridley.
Baseline for Ridley Shermer. And then stripped away by Uduje. Uduje pulls up at the elbow. Fouled by Sammy Fajana.
We have quite a few Year 11 players in this game as well, guys that haven't even made it, you know, haven't completed their GCSEs yet, or they're in the midst of their GCSEs. 3 or 4 of them, I believe, and great opportunity for them to play in a game like this and potentially do it for 2 or 3 years to come until they graduate.
Yeah, I was interviewing a few of the class of 2019 guys prior to the game, and Hosanna Katenge, obviously one of our guys over at Loughborough and Charnwood College, but it's his 3rd year playing in it, and that's very much that situation, because he was younger when he played in his 1st year, and he's been able to play for 3 years, and he was saying how much he's not taken that opportunity for granted, but just loves coming back year in and year out, and it's going to be no different for some of these boys out on the floor today. So Veron Eze on the ball, comes off the screen from McGlasson, finds Winter given no time or space to shoot. Almost stripped away, shot clock down to 8, inside to Keto, back to Winter in the corner, no good. Sorry, it was Sammy Fajana, not Keto, that's his Myerscough teammate. And Sagna now, close to Shermer for 3, no good. Big rebound though for Uduje, and he is everywhere in this game at the moment. Sagna backs out, goes at McGlasson, stops, pops, it's good.
Blaize, very well-rounded player, can do a little bit of everything. Steady but really intense defender, which we like.
McGlasson to answer back, airballs it. You love to see that. He got scored on at one end, and then the matchup at the other end, he's like, all right, I'm going to come back at you and try and answer. So Team White from the sideline. Josh Uduje to inbound. Sagna has it. And Sagna's fouled. Foul's going to go on Louis Norton-Cuffy.
They're definitely playing defense. There's no let-up whatsoever.
And that's team fouls, so we'll go to the line. But yeah, I completely agree. But you want that. You want both teams to give the other team their best shot, really. And I would expect nothing less from some of the competitors that are out on the floor. I haven't seen them play all season long.
Sure.
They're relevant club side and academy sides.
It's a testament to the programs that these young men come from. They've been given, you know, in a 30-minute walkthrough, light structure. But you can see that they're making reads. You can see that they're lifting and filling when they need to, and just showing that they know how to play good fundamental basketball as well, which is making the game a little smoother.
And a lot of these young men as well will be looking for potential GB call-ups. If not this summer, then in future years. Chive threads the needle to McGlasson. McGlasson finds Eze. Travel called.
Great bounce pass by Louis.
And the speed again really jumps out at you for Team White and Team Black, to be fair. Both of them looking to get up and down the floor. Uduje has it. There's 2 possessions left in this game. In the first quarter, apologies. Shermer for 3. No good. Rebounded by Sagna. Sagna will back it out. Shot clock resets to 14. Sagna almost at the halfway line. Stripped by Norton-Cuffy. And then he's going to get the last possession. Sagna immediately picking Norton-Cuffy back up. He finds Eze.
I don't think he knows
clock
about
down
the clock.
to 2. Doesn't know it. Maybe he does. No good. And at the end of 1, Team White lead Team Black 21-17 here at the Rough House, the Brixton Rec Centre in London. And a great display of junior British basketball so far in the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic, which is in its 5th year and 4th in Brixton after the first year took place at Brunel University. And I remember being there for that first year at Brunel and watching. There was an under-26 game with some of the GB seniors and then an under-16 game, but we saw some of the names such as Matthew Bryan Ammening and Dan Clark come out and play on British soil for the first time in a long time for some of those guys, but also some standout performances from the younger guys. And then that's gone on in previous years where we've seen big performances. We talked about Kyle Carey's dunk in 2015. And in 2018, last year, guys like Adi Adebayo taking centre stage. Michael Anumba, who's back in the building, and we're going to try and talk to at halftime as well. So these young men are having an opportunity to make a name for themselves and really have a bit of a breakout performance.
And you have slightly older generations who say, we never had this when we were younger. There's a gap for quite a few years where there was no summer all-star game, and so a lot of the older guys are in here today and they're looking on with envious eyes, wishing that they had an opportunity to play in front of a crowd like this in this type of event.
Yeah, definitely. So while we wait for the teams to retake the floor, and we have our quarter break entertainment taking place. There's some form of layup competition and dance-off after we had a horrific dance-off yesterday, which CJ Hayden, who's playing in the class of 2019 game, took part in. I'm hoping we get some better dancing in our halftime entertainment today. But yeah, if you are joining us and watching on the live stream and you aren't yet following us over on social media, make sure you check us out at Hoopsfix and either tweet us or comment or post on Facebook as to where and how you're watching the game and who you're most excited to see. And then make sure that you use that hashtag HASC19. And we also want to make sure we give a big shout out to all of our sponsors who make today possible. A huge thank you to Nike, Molten, SportServe Limited, 506, ESPN Player, Let Me Play, and Always Ballin'. So both teams retaking the floor. As we were saying, it's a 21-17 lead for Team White. And leaders early on, points-wise, Theo Hughes with 5 for Team White, Veron Eze with 5, so those two sharing the spoils. Rebounds-wise, Blaize Sagna at the point guard position. That's 5 first quarter of rebounds. He's been all over the place. Add to that, just 2 points, but usually, as we have the alley to Soshan, oh my goodness.
Design play out of the break.
Kaboza with the Euro. Can't finish on the opposite side of the basket though. And here's Sagna again, stops, finds Hildreth. Hildreth goes baseline, up and under. Tough take, Cameron Hildreth.
He's exciting. Exciting young man. He's got all the skills you would want in a young guard. Really has.
He had a 48-point performance in the under-16 Final Four championship game this year. Soshan, baseline. Yeah, completely agree. Cameron Hildreth is an exciting talent. Kaboza goes up and one.
Tough finish. Seems like Team Black's ramped things up a little bit coming out of the break.
Kaboza after that and one flex to the class of 2019 that are on that far baseline. And I get that sense and that feel from this weekend now that we've gone over 2 days, and as you said earlier on, with the boys supporting the girls game yesterday and the girls being here today, that the sense of community and pride in the British game is only going to continue to grow. And they all just really love coming out to support each other. They may be rivals during the season, but when it comes to events like this and then playing for their relevant GB teams, they just love playing together and supporting each other.
And it's a great spectacle where there's not the same level of competition. At Final Fours, everyone's vying. You know, teams don't necessarily integrate in the way that you would in an environment like this. But here, everybody can kind of relax. You've got different players from different teams sitting together. So really nice environment, big community feel in the gym.
And the foul was called on Louis Norton-Cuffy as Cameron Hildreth in the new Puma gold sneaks that he's wearing there. You've got to be a good player in order to rock them. Was fouled, taking the corner free, so he goes to the free throw line to shoot free. But you have to have the game to back those shoes up, most definitely.
For sure. And yesterday we had Macy Spinks, daughter of Drew Spinks, and today we've got Cameron Hildreth, the son of Danny Hildreth, who's a great player down on the South Coast for a long, long time. And I think Danny's not ready to admit that Cameron has surpassed him yet as a player, but Cameron surpassed a lot of people at just 15, 16 years old. So I think he can get away with wearing those trainers today.
And his father Danny in the crowd supporting today as well. And some of their Sussex Storm alumni, like Hosanna Kitenge, playing in the game later on. Review goes baseline. Lane cut off by Soshan, out to Norton-Cuffy, step back, no good. And the 8th rebound of the game for Blaize Sagna.
Wow.
Pushes the pace, Euro step, up and under, what a move for Blaize Sagna.
What a finish.
His Charnwood teammate, Hosanna Kitenge, up on the baseline, hyping him up. What a finish for Sagna.
Looking forward to seeing Hosanna play in the upperclassmen game later on. If there's one thing that guy's got, it's energy. He doesn't lack for energy and enthusiasm, which is great.
Yeah, he was the sole proponent of the majority of our bench warnings this year whenever he was off the floor. I mean, there's photographic evidence somewhere of him doing a handstand after one of his teammates made a free. And we had to have a quiet word in his ear after that. We're like, we love your energy, Hosey, but maybe just tone it down ever so slightly on that sideline. Kaboza now with the ball for Team Black. Finds Amari Williams into a goo. Spins on Wallace Steele. Wins Norton-Cuffy, free, no good. Rebound tapped out. Comes to Kaboza. Kaboza fouled by Sagna.
Strong guard play on the court at the moment with Kaboza, Sagna, Chive and Norton-Cuffy all on the floor at the same time. Just as I say that, Sagna comes out, but you really 4 strong guards that can do a lot on the floor. They can handle, they can shoot it, they defend, pretty much do everything you'd want in a guard.
And the other thing, just to add to that, as Williams shakes and bakes at Soshan, but Soshan says no. The other thing I was just going to add is the length of some of these young men at the guard spot and wing spot now. As Williams inside goes up and gets the tough two.
Great passing.
In the past, if you were tall at the younger age group, you always got sent to play the 4 or the 5 spot, and then you may not have grown any further, and then you were almost stuck and having to pick up skills at a later date. Whereas now, of all 10 guys that are on court, Amari Williams is probably the biggest out there, and I'd say he's the 3-4.
Yeah, the game's changed over the years. It's all about pace and space nowadays. I think there's been...
Wallace Steele flushes home an easy 2 in transition. And then the advance to Agu at the other end. And tough finish. But yeah, you were right. The game has changed, and the way that it's coached now and the skill development of some of these players has changed as well.
Very seldom do you have, you know, low post players that just sit on the block and wait for the ball. All players are required to be able to shoot nowadays and keep the defense honest and handle the ball somewhat. Be able to work the ball in a dribble handoff and pick and pop. It's just part of how the game has evolved over the years.
And even Theo Hughes at 7 foot and the tallest player in the game has already made a 3 today as Hildreth shakes and bakes. Gets into the paint, finishes, almost finishes with the left, and that's a tough finish to try and make as your body's going one way, you're twisting back to try and finish with your left hand. So that's the skill level that he's got.
It's what warrants the trainers.
Most definitely. Although saying that now, as Team White huddle, you only have to look there, and Jeremy Sochan with some rather bright turquoise coloured, and then Sam Grant from Reading with the Kyries of a little bit of a pink hint to them. So all of them rocking some colour from Nike today. Tough move inside for Veron Eze.
Chris Feeney's a great player. He's just so good at everything. He's just steady, shoots the ball really well, makes good decisions. Really, really exciting player to have in a game like this. And I said to you before we got on the broadcast, it feels like he's been around forever, but he's still got another year after this, so more growth.
Sochan crushes the two-hander.
Huge dunk.
And if we were counting on dunks, it's currently 4-0 for Team White. So Black needs to pick up the ante as Williams throws up the 3 and it's no good. Rebounded by Chive, who advances to Grant. Grant against Feeney, blocked by Williams, and a travel was called before the block. And we've got multiple substitutions for both teams.
4 dunks to 0?
4 dunks to 0.
Assault on the right-hand rim from our vantage point.
And all 4 of them have caught us completely off guard. So a ball in the hands of Chris Feeney for Team Black. Feeney finds McGlasson. McGlasson shaking and baking, nowhere to go. Finds Sulaiman. Sulaiman gets inside. Tough take.
He's
Tomiwa Sulaiman.
Physical player, just getting to the rim, shoulder down, using sheer will to get to the basket, grab himself a bucket.
And again, listed at 6'5", but able to play multiple positions as Hildreth finds Grant inside. Great vision from the young guard.
And as skilled as Cameron Hildreth is, and he is extremely skilled, I think the most impressive thing about him is his IQ. He plays the game like a 25-year-old man, not like a 16-year-old.
Hildreth has it now for Team White. Across to Josh Uduje. Hildreth for 3, a little bit long. Rebounded by Price. And that one goes up for Josh Uduje.
He's quietly having himself quite a game at the moment, Uduje.
Yeah, that 3 will take him up to 7 points personal. Sulaiman showing the range from 3. And it looks like he's got some family in the crowd as well, as he's gesturing to the crowd there. Grant puts it on the floor, nowhere to go though. Out to Shermer, shot clock down to 6, stripped away. McGlasson goes up, blocked by Grant against the board. Eze blocked by Grant again. Price, Eurostep
And
blocked
again.
at the other end. My goodness. Back-to-back blocks, and the whole of the roughhouse is on their feet. Fajana throws up the triple, no good, rebounded by Hildreth. And how about that for back-to-back highlights? Uduje, another three, no good. Ahead to Feeney. Feeney up and under, what a move! And we've got a timeout called.
That escalated
Team
quickly.
White. Head coach Craig Nichols saying, okay, we're going to take a brief one. And how about that for a 2.5, 3-minute end-to-end action here at the Roughhouse?
It escalated quickly, very, very quickly. It was 3 or 4 blocks in a row, a couple of three-pointers, great finish from Feeney to cap it all off, and now we're in a timeout trying to slow them down, I guess.
And it looked, I was almost going to say, it would have been cursed of the commentator again, I was almost going to say Team White is starting to pull away. I think it was 37-28 before we went on that run. It's now 39-34. So end-to-end action so far. And we said we didn't think we were going to be disappointed. We have most definitely not been. And neither has this capacity sellout crowd.
They're really going for it, and it's good to see they're playing hard, but it's not spoiling the level of basketball that they're playing. We're watching some great plays happening. Guys are going for dunks, but guys are going for blocks at the same time, trying to meet them up at the rim.
And also great to see now some of the older GB guys have come into the gym. Is just looking around, see Obi Soko stood sideline, Teddy Okerafor also sideline. Great to see them coming out and supporting the young guns.
Teddy was one of the guys that said that he never had anything like this previously, so there was no All-Star game. We had Midnight Madness back in the day, but the selection was a little different to this.
And now with brands like Nike coming on board, hopefully will only mean that the game continues to grow. And you only have to look at like the Jordan-sponsored Kai 54 tournament over in Paris, which I've been to before, but I mean, that started in humble beginnings as well. And Sherma throws up the triple, can't get it to go. But that started in humble beginnings as well, and it's grown ever since.
Yeah, it really did. We went to Sam, I think it wasn't Sam, it was Greg Tanner. We went to the second one. We went out there with Midnight Madness, and Greg was over there with streetball.co.uk, and it was literally in a small gym. It wasn't outside that year because it was raining, and it gradually moved on and ended up for a few years under the Eiffel Tower in the most picturesque of venues. And hopefully one day this can grow. You know, we love Brixton and we want it to be here, but maybe one day demand will, you know, require it to move to a bigger venue, because it certainly feels packed in here at the moment. You've got people standing by the walls, you've got people all around the outskirts of the court, which is phenomenal.
I don't know if we could ever take it outside with the UK weather. We probably need to find a bigger indoor venue, but yeah, if it continues to sell out, then Sam Nita's going to have himself a problem to find a bigger venue. But Josh Uduje is another 2 and is having himself a bit of a breakout game.
9 points personal now.
Sulaiman inside with the rebound is good. And the score now 41-39 in the favor of Team White. Uduje with the handle, but can't get the pass inside to Hughes and goes over to apologize to the big man.
This quarter has flown by too. There's been so much action. I just looked up, there's only 1 minute 25 seconds left. Incredible.
But it is only halftime, so don't go anywhere, because at halftime we will have Michael Number, a little courtside interview for the former Hoopsfix All-Star Classic participant. And then we'll have another 20 minutes of high-flying end-to-end action here from the Brixton Rec. The foul is called.
Alajiki back in the game.
It'll be Ethan Price out of Ipswich that heads to the bench, and Price winning both the MVP and Defensive Player of the Year awards in the Southern Conference of the EABL. And having another year to play there. I mean, phenomenal year for him over at Ipswich with Nick Drain.
frightening, and it's frightening to think of such a small town over in Suffolk that they produce so much athletic talent. You've got just players coming out there. You've got Veron Eze as well, who's a real athletic player. It's hard to imagine a town of 120,000 people that produce this amount of players. A testament to Nick and the program over there to finding these players. They have a great primary school program, which helps, I believe.
Ball back in the hands of Sulaiman, going at Hughes, trying to shake and bake himself for the two. No good, and the ball trickles out of bounds. And right in front of us, Coach Craig Nicholl says he wants another timeout, so he's going to use his full allocation. And we're going to draw something up for Team White out of the timeout. But yeah, big shout out to Nick Drain for coaching against you yesterday, Jackson.
Not such a big shout out after yesterday's performance. But yeah.
If he's watching, he's probably having a little chuckle to himself now. But yeah, and all the work that he's done over at Ipswich as well. Ethan Price, as we were saying, a big advocate for all the work that they do over there at Ipswich. And again, you were saying it earlier on, but there's so many programs represented now across the board. It can only mean that British basketball, and junior British basketball, is in good hands as we continue to move forward. And the more programs that are able to offer full-time head coaching positions and are able to invest time into the development of these young people, as both players and people, is only going to mean more and more positive events and performances and results, essentially.
And there's a broad selection of institutions here, of clubs here. You know, you've got Richmond Knights, that, you know, one of the up-and-coming programs that have really come to prominence in the last couple of years. And they're not an academy, they're a club, but they're doing such a great job with developing so many young kids all across the board. And then you have, you know, the basketball academies. Myerscough heavily represented here, Charnwood College heavily represented, Copleston, Cola, Barking Abbey. You've got, you know, the names that you hear on a weekly basis all across the Academy League. Itchin College too got a few guys in the games too. So it's really nice to see so many different programs represented.
And Saul May just turning it over there, as I think he mistook the referee for one of his teammates. The referee's in that dark grey and black pinstripe. Looking rather fresh though, sponsored by Nike. Uduje has it. Game clock down to 5. Uduje fires. No good. Rebounded by Sulaiman. Has to pull up from the half court. Almost banks it. And looked like his old man was in the crowd and jumped up there, almost ready to celebrate. But at the end of the first half, it'll be Team White that are leading 41-39 against Team Black. And we're going to take a short 1-minute break before we come back to you with an interview with Michael Anumba from courtside, so don't go anywhere. Outside at the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic, and I'm joined by Hoopsfix alumni Michael Anumba, who played last year here at the Brixton Rec. And Mike, back after a year at Winthrop, just give us a bit of a recap on your season out there and how it's been.
It's been a great season. I really loved it. The first couple months, it was a real struggle. It was very challenging. New plays, new people, completely new. But I have to say that I really loved it. I played a lot. I started every game, and it was amazing. I can't wait to come back.
And what's it like being back at the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic now?
I feel like I'm at home. Like I know everyone. There's a lot of people that I haven't seen in a minute, and it's amazing. I really love it.
And wanting to be out there on the floor?
Oh, I wish I could play. I really wish I could play. I wish I could play.
And who are you most looking forward to seeing play today? Any of the guys that you're looking out for?
There's my ex-teammate and brother, Myerscough, that unluckily is injured. But there's my other teammate. This is Wesley Oba, which I'm really looking to see him play. And other players like Jonathan Brown, Mate, Osana, and most of them, pretty much everyone. Pretty much everyone.
And if you could give any of these guys a top tip for the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic, what would it be?
Get buckets. Get buckets.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll let you get back to watching the rest of the game, but make sure that you don't go anywhere, as we're going to be back soon for second half action. Welcome back to the Rough House, the Brixton Rec, here in London for second half action in the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic Underclassmen game. My name's Liam Jefferson. I'm joined by Jackson Gibbons. And Jackson, who in that first half really stood out for you?
We were just looking at the stats. Blaize Sagna is having an incredible half. It's dominating on the glass from the guard position. He's, I think he scored 5 points so far, doing really well on the efficiency rating. And then Veron Eze seems like he's having a good game, and Tomiwa Sulaiman seems like he's really asserting himself. But there's still all to play for. There's 20 minutes to go, and really good guys in the game that can go off at any time and fill it up. So open for anyone to take the MVP, but the game is so close too.
Yeah. 2-point ball game as Team White currently lead 41-39 against Team Black. Both teams retaking the floor for second half action. If you are just joining us, make sure you give us a shout out over on social media as well. You can catch us at Hoopsfix and use the hashtag HASC19. And we are back underway with the ball in the hands of Louis Norton-Cuffy. To Kaboza.
Set play.
Yeah, straight out of the half. Norton-Cuffy goes down the middle, hands off, blocked from behind by Sagna. And please tell me that foul call isn't going to go on Blaize Sagna. No, it's going to go on Theo Hughes. That would have been a highlight play if the foul hadn't been called. And Blaize just speaking to Aaron Senior, the referee now, having a laugh, saying thank you for not calling that one on me.
I think he was saying you couldn't have called that on me. He's having a hell of a game.
So Sanmi Fajana at the line. Had the opportunity to tie it up at 41 apiece, but didn't. But the ball will go back to Team Black after going out of bounds off a Team White leg. Tomiwa Sulaiman with the ball. Kaboza goes inside, has to kick it out.
Good extra pass.
Amari Williams finds Tomiwa Sulaiman up and under. What a move!
And I think that's something that people underrate about Amari Williams. I was speaking to some people from his former club, Mansfield, and also the guys at Myerscough. They say he's a hell of a passer. He's got great court vision.
Big foul there by Williams, but yeah, I agree. I was talking to Neil Hopkins, coach up at Myerscough as well, and calling him a point forward because of his passing ability. And I mean, at that sort of size, to be able to handle the rock a little bit like he can and distribute in the way that he does, he has a very bright future in the game ahead of him.
That was my pass of the day so far, I think. I don't think probably the best pass we've seen at this stage. And for someone at 6'10", 6'11", to be able to thread the needle like that and create an opportunity for a teammate, it's incredible.
Swimming gets the rebound ahead to Norton-Cuffy. Just slowing the pace up ever so slightly. Back to Tomiwa in the corner, three no good. Another rebound for Sagna to give him 10. Sagna behind the back to Chive. Chive guarded tightly by Norton-Cuffy. Price skip pass to Sagna, thinks about the free. This time it's no good. Kaboza dishes inside to Sulaiman. Can't finish, and Team White come down with a rebound, but the pace hasn't let up at all. Kaboza falling out of bounds over the Nike banner, trying to save the ball. But yeah, frantic pace still for both teams. End-to-end action. And shot clock just being reset to 14. Price for three, short. Sagna trying to save it, but didn't fancy jumping onto the class of 2019 who are sat on that far baseline. So Norton-Cuffy for Team Black, currently leading by one, just a minute and a half into third quarter action. Cuffy stripped. Sagna comes up with the ball. And he's fouled. Pharrell Wallace-Steele sprinting over to help Sagna up, who's going to head to the bench. Jeremy Soshan comes in. Maybe Ethan Price to inbound. Price again finished the season averaging 20.7 points and 14.3 rebounds.
He really did carry the fight for Copleston. They have 3 outstanding players on their academy team with Ethan Price, Veron Eze, and Ben Winter. They are, you know, the big 3 almost in that program.
And great to see all 3 of them playing today as well. Williams has it, finds Norton-Cuffy. Crossover, spins back. Finds Sammy Fajana, no good for 3, rebounded by Price. And the ball in the hands of Chive, who somehow keeps a hold of it, gets to the left hand, no, and Soshan tried the putback. Norton-Cuffy, I think he wanted to give Fajana the breakaway dunk, but a little bit ahead of him on the pass, he turned it over.
He looked like he was caught in 2 minds whether to pass to Bradley or Sanmi, and just kind of did neither.
Chive has it across to Price. Hughes now. I've got it tightly by Winter. Spinning, losing the handle, and they'll go out of bounds for a black possession. Bradley Kaboza for Team Black out of Myerscough College. Across to Thomas Sulaiman, Ben Winter now. Sulaiman penetrates, stops, turns out to Winter. 3 is no good, and a big rebound, Ethan Price. Pharrell Wallace-Steele behind the back, pulls it back out, slows his team down ever so slightly. Finds Price. Price to Chive. Chive inside. Tough finish through the contact.
Gotta love David Chive. Gotta love David Chive. Just such a hard-nosed, tough point guard. Leads from the front, physical. I know Alan Keane is very fond of him over at JMA. Speaks so highly of him, and previous Lewisham Thunder player, and they spoke so highly of him over there too.
Wallace-Steele throws the lob to Price, but a little bit too much on it. And he gets the layup to go. But yeah, Chive, a phenomenal job as well for Reading Rockets in Division 1 this year. He's not a bit part player, but came off the bench to start the season and ended up starting for them at the back end. We had to deal with him over at Loughborough as well. And a couple of big-time threes against us.
Starting at 17 years old in Division 1 is an incredible achievement. So it shows that they have a lot of faith in him. They think he's got a bright future, and they want to move him on and not hold him back and limit him to just playing in his own age group. He's gaining valuable experience in a great league.
And Alan Keane in the building today as well, casting an eye over some of these guys and the Classic 2019 for those that are eligible for the GB Under-18s. Price hands it off. And that one goes out of bounds off David Chive, so it'll be a black possession as Franklin Agu comes in. And heading to the bench, Bradley Kaboza, who looks a little bit upset about that one, about getting subbed by his Myerscough coach, Troy Cully. So don't want to get too upset because he's got to deal with him for a season.
He's actually got his former coach, Alexis, over there too, who coached him at London Pioneers too, so he's got double trouble. Alexis Lewis, who does a great job in London.
Price inbounds for Team White. And another turnover on that baseline.
It started off a little tense in the third quarter. It seems like the defense has locked in a little bit more. Guys are unwilling to let guys make the highlight plays.
Yeah, relatively low scoring so far. And on cue, big corner three from Team White to extend their lead to 6. Winter answers at the other end. And as soon as we hit that 5-minute mark, the floodgate seemed to have opened. Bowman off the back of that three on the last possession. Finds Alajiki, shaking, baking, getting inside, lane cut off by Agu. Bowman inside, trying to find Price on the cut, but no good. Taken away by Hildreth to Soshan. Price goes up,
Big block
blocked by Tomiwa Sulaiman. Craig Nickel in front of us, just looking at me with a little bit of a, not sure that was a block, but he has to say that. He wants the foul call.
Tomiwa was not about to be on Ethan Price's poster.
Soshan at the line makes his first.
Team White going for all the dunks today.
Yeah.
Real rim attack.
Splits him at the line. Rebounded by Alajiki, and he gets it up and back for 2. Eze step back to Sulaiman, gets it back. I thought he was going to go up and jam it, but opted for the safer 2. This isn't the game for the safer option. Hildreth between the legs, banks home the 3. And it's a 5-point ball game again for Team White. Eze to Sulaiman. Going to Alajiki. Euro step, gets it up. And despite the lane being cut off, Tomiwa Sulaiman gets the 2 to go. Soshan now for Team White. Soshan pull up 2. No good. And it's going to be a baseline ball for Team Black. Subs as Sam Grant and Ridley Shermer come in. Blake Bowman and Ethan Price heading to the bench.
Wow.
Big time play there, and it's a 7-point game now. Eze answers at the other end, and he'll go to the line for the bonus point.
We could go through 30, 45 seconds of scoring drought, and someone scores, they've got to come right back at him.
But I love that mentality from the young guys on display here to answer and find that answer straight away. So Veron Eze goes to the line to add 1 more to their total. And he does, so it's a 4-point ball game again. Hildreth now goes to Alajiki with the slowest head fake I think I've seen. Hildreth double teamed off the screen. Agu almost loses the handle and is fouled once he manages to regain composure. Foul's going on Veron Eze. And Soshan heads to the bench for Team White. Uduje checks in. Uduje had that big dunk down the lane in the first quarter. Agu at the line.
Probably a time to start doing an MVP watch heading into the 4th quarter to see who's ahead in the stats, who's having a good game. I still like Blaize Sagna. He's been a little quieter this quarter.
Yeah, just the 1 rebound to add to his 5 points and 9 that he had in the first, so now 10 rebounds.
Cameron Hildreth slowly picking up pace, jumped up to 9 points.
Yeah, and then if you look at the other end, Team Black, Veron Eze with 14 points and 5 rebounds. And probably the biggest performance on a very quiet performance, actually, but he's definitely showing out for Team Black. Alajiki.
This young man, Alajiki's impressed me today. Been all over the court, live body, blocking shots.
And you've got to laugh there. You've got some of the Hoopsfix women's girls that played yesterday on the baseline, but still everybody flinches when the ball comes towards them. The boys were the same yesterday. You'd expect basketball players to always have their hands up and be ready. Grant with the Euro step. And we've got our first wedgie of the game. So that'll be a team, no, not a Team Black possession. Team Black were lining up on the baseline to take it, but the possession arrow is pointing to Team White, so they'll get the ball back. Ripped by May. Ahead to Winter. Winter thought about the dunk and then almost got a flat at the last minute. Uduje up, a lot of contact, not given. McGlasson has it. McGlasson advances to Winter. Winter, May had already jumped, wanting the lob. And Saul May from Manchester Magic had already gone up. And I think his eyes lit up as he thought Winter was going to throw the lob.
And that's the example of the guys not having played with each other much and getting later in the game, they're getting tired.
Yeah. We expect a couple of substitutions sometime soon from both coaches. Uduje comes off the screen, step back three, a little bit short. Rebounded by May, who finds Glasson on an awesome outlet pass.
Wow, what a
Sherman says no, but Norton-Cuffy is there to clean it up. Hildreth between the legs. Norton-Cuffy giving him nowhere. Hildreth still gets inside, tries to bank it, but can't. McGlasson loses it. Hildreth up to the left hand. This time it's good.
He's going for that MVP. You can see it. He's ramped things up in the last few minutes, going for the MVP.
And Team White's lead is back out to 5 again. May for 3. Can't answer. McGlasson's there to clean it up. Just stops and pops with the easy 2. Josh Uduje now. Uduje shaking and baking, pulling up. Ooh, broken Winter. And Ben Winter with a sly smirk on his face. Oh, what a pass by Winter at the upper end as he threads the needle.
Eyes in the side and the back of his head. That's an incredible pass.
Alajiki for 2. Team White with all the highlights so far. And Team Black going to get the last possession of the quarter. McGlasson has it. McGlasson tries to find it, stripped away. Uduje for Team White. Game clock down to 1, has to shoot it. Not going to have enough time. And at the end of the third quarter, the score is 59 to 62. As Team White have the lead. Veron Eze with 14 points personal. Sulaiman with 13 and 6 rebounds. And at the other end, Hildreth, as we were saying, up to 11 and 4 now. Sagna, after that early burst, just 5 points and 10 rebounds. There's some big-time performances from some of these young men. And multiple big-time performances as well. It's not like one standout that we've seen, which I think is positive for this group of players.
It's tough to accumulate great stats because the minutes are being spread so evenly. And Holly Winterburn showed yesterday she separated herself from the pack by scoring 20-plus points in a short period of time. But none of these guys are massively separating themselves from the pack, but they're having some very strong games. And the names that we keep going over, Josh Uduje is really seeming to put a good game together for himself, and then you've got Veron. You've got Veron who's, amassing a good overall efficiency rating as well as having 14 points and being a leader scorer in the game. And then Cam Hildreth looks like he's making a push for it as well in the last couple of minutes.
And we're being treated to some halftime entertainment in the form of a shootout. I think it's whoever makes the shot from furthest. They started at the halfway line. And the young man takes the victory with the 3-point make. And therefore, I think he's won himself a pair of Chicago Bulls shorts, which he will be most pleased about. And while we wait for the fourth quarter to get underway, I want to once again thank our valued sponsors for all of their support in putting on the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic of 2019. So big thank you to Nike, Molten, SportServe Limited, 506, ESPN Player, Let Me Play, and Always Ballin'. And if you are still with us, make sure you give us a shout out over on the relevant social media channels by going and following Hoopsfix on the relevant platforms and also using the hashtag HASC19. And a foul straight away is going to go on number 7. That's Blake Bowman. Sorry, no, Blake Bowman not on the floor. I think it was on 27. I think it's Josh Uduje. And Eze at the line gets the free throws to go. And we are all tied up at 62 apiece. And if it could stay tight throughout, that would be exactly what we would like. And now into Hughes, back to basket, and then up and under for the big man from Barking Abbey.
Lloyd Gardner and James Veer will be claiming their individuals taught him everything he knows in that move. What an impressive move for such a big man.
Uduje now off the screen from Fajana. Sorry, Eze guarded by Uduje. It's the London Thunder man who grabs the rebound. Finds Hildreth. Hildreth goes at Feeney with the left-handed finish. Now that's an underrated finish from Cameron Hildreth. Feeney between the legs, loses the handle, stripped by Sagna. Sagna advances to Uduje. Follow up by Hildreth for 2. And just like that, it's a 6-point ball game again.
From nowhere.
Team White just seem to be playing with Team Black at the moment. Every time they get close, they just put the jets on a little bit and head back out. Hughes with the hard hedge on the ball screen, chasing the ball handler, forcing them into a turnover. Chris Feeney in front of us was talking to me pre-game about how he wanted a dunk in this one. I think it was tongue-in-cheek as he was saying it. He's another exciting prospect out of Barking Abbey as well. Hughes again, blocked this time by Tomiwa. And Tomiwa having a little something to say to Theo.
It's an all-star game. It wouldn't be an all-star game without trash talk.
Friendly as well. And there's Hughes again trying to go at Sulaiman. With the rebound batted out of bounds, so we'll stay at that far end of the court. Chive to inbound for Team White. Finds Soshan. Soshan finds Sagna for 3. Long. Soshan gets the board though. Shot clock hasn't reset, so it's down to 7, but stripped away by Tomiwa Sulaiman. Norton-Cuffy pulls up for 3, no good, and rebounded by Josh Uduje. Splits the gap, tries to thread the needle, but no good. And the game just getting ever so slightly scrappy now. I think both teams sensing there is only 7 minutes left to play. So their opportunity to get a highlight is diminishing. Hughes has the ball. Guarded again by Sulaiman, stripped. Kaboza to the basket, takes the contact and finishes, gives the ref the eyes after the finish.
Coach Nicol has definitely instructed Team White to play through the post through Theo Hughes the last few plays. They're looking to play out of the post and give themselves some opportunities.
And there on cue is the dish-off pass from Sagna to Hughes, who gets fouled. So Hughes heads to the free throw line to shoot 2. Team White leading 68-64. And just a reminder, this is just our first event of the day. Following this, we will have the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic Dunk Contest. And after the dunk contest, the Class of 2019 game, which potentially is the final time that some of those young men will play on British soil for some time, with the majority heading off to the United States on athletic scholarships. Eze hands off to Norton-Cuffy, who drives baseline. Kaboza inside, footwork almost travel, but just got it down. Feeney drives another baseline cut, and shot clock expires for Team Black, but all the cuts, baseline cuts, handoffs, passes, but nobody wanted to take the shot at the end of the possession.
A little bit too much overpassing.
So Team White will have the ball with the 6-point lead. It's in the hands of David Chive of the Reading Rockets in Division 1. Price crosses over, gets to the basket, under finish. Nice move from the big man.
What an incredible move for guy 6'10", long wingspan, but can move his feet like a guard.
Feeney now for Team Black. Crosses, Sagna tries to find Eze, no good. And the outlet pass from Bowman just didn't have enough on it to find Sagna. Sulaiman now ahead to Feeney for Team Black. Feeney for 3, no good. Rebound comes down to Wallace Steele. Wallace Steele at the other end, behind the back to Price. Pump fake finish, no good. And a foul called. It's going to go on Bradley Kaboza.
Black are not willing to lie down in this game. It's a 3-on-1, and all of a sudden it was a 4-on-3. So the guys got back as soon as they could. Shows just how much it means to these young guys. Nobody wants to be on the losing end of a Hoopsfix All-Star Classic.
Yeah. Bowman to inbound, finds Chive. Chive baseline, finds Wallace Steele. Wallace Steele fouled. And we've not really spoke about Pharrell Wallace Steele yet, but someone that the majority of people in this country might not know enough about, that actually represented England at under 15 level 2 seasons ago, was just returned from a season in Germany in the JBBL out there. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the team name that he played for. But another guy that's already plying his trade overseas. And at the line now to shoot 2. And there's a couple of guys like that that have gone away to either Europe or the US and then come back. We talked about Tomiwa Sulaiman before, playing out of West Nottingham Academy. And then Jeremy Sochan this year actually is heading out to La Lumiere High School.
Number 2 high school in the nation last year, so he's going to have a great opportunity. And speaking to Matt Guyman down at Itchen, Jeremy literally had the pick of American high schools that he could go to, and he chose La Lumiere, just felt that it was the best fit for him and the place that's going to help his talents grow and develop over the next few years and give him a chance to not only pick a great college after that, but hopefully one day become a great pro.
Yeah, and has played for the Polish junior national team as well. Actually played against GB 2 summers ago. As Kaboza gets inside, tough finish by Kaboza. And 5 minutes and 17 seconds remaining. It's a 5-point ball game in the favor of Team White. Wallace Steele, nowhere to go against Sulaiman. Out to Chive for 3. No good. Sagna gets a hand to it. Tips it to teammate Bowman. Wallace Steele, and a charge taken by Tomiwa Sulaiman. And just look at how much that call meant to him. Big time defensive play from the 6'5" guard forward. And that's why he's number 2 on the Denkamp top 50 list.
Yeah, really was that they're trying to get the ball back. They're trying to move forward, get back into this game. It's a 5-point game right now with just under 5 minutes to go. Tomiwa Sulaiman with an excellent defensive play, taking a charge.
A lot of contact on Chive, and finally a foul is called. So a team white ball from the side, 4 minutes 41 remaining. I still feel like this game has one more big highlight in it though. Tomiwa Sulaiman strips it, bangs it at the other end, and almost on cue. Tomiwa Sulaiman with a huge dunk for Team Black.
First black dunk today.
Baseline pass to Price with a dunk at the other end. And this game, after slowing down ever so slightly, has sprung back to life.
Came right back at him.
Kaboza for Team Black. Finds Tomiwa Sulaiman. Inside, up, under, finish.
Tomiwa definitely has his own fan base in the crowd at the moment. Every time he scores or makes a move, one section of the crowd goes absolutely crazy. Really like this kid's game though. Really physical, aggressive play is going to go a long way.
Soshan's free is no good. It's rebounded by Williams, who playing point guard, goes behind the back, crosses over, and foul is called. Williams, I think, will be pleased with that call. Tomiwa Sulaiman looks over at head coach Troy Cully and says, yeah, just get me a break really quickly. But all the energy and effort from that man. And heads to the bench. Hildreth has it now. Foul called on Eze. It's a 3-point ball game. This could go down to the wire.
Looks like Tomiwa Sulaiman looking to stamp his name on the MVP at the moment. He seems to have just ramped it up in the last few minutes, giving himself a good opportunity. I think that the two bets for me right now would be Tomiwa or Cam Hildreth. Looks like he's had a really strong second half, but Veron Eze is still in the game, and so he gives himself a chance.
It's difficult to call it as well because I mean, it's not really been a standout performance where if you were on the losing team you could give it. So a lot of it will also rely on the result of the game.
For sure.
And Team White currently have that advantage by 4 as Hildreth grabs the rebound and advances to Chive. Chive fakes the pass, finds Soshan. Nice finish by Jeremy Soshan. Uduje has it. Got it by Grant, spins up, under, finish, and that's a big play for Team Black. Boy, did they need that score.
You have to love the way Franklin Agui plays the game. He's just so physical. Every time he gets the ball, he's looking to attack and score.
Agui will go to the line to add the bonus point. And yes. 8 points and 6 rebounds. We've got 9 points.
One possession game going into the last 3 minutes as anyone's to play for.
Chive has it, finds Hildreth. Hildreth got it by McGlasson, shakes, bakes, up and under, and no foul called. As the referee says it was all ball. Kaboza gets inside, and he's fouled. And neither team is giving up anything easy now.
It's winning time. Absolute winning time.
And speaking of winning time, Blaize Sagna is going to check in for Team White, who are looking to get their best 5 on the floor. So Kaboza at the line with a chance to make it a 1-point ball game. Makes his first. Doesn't make the second. And it's rebounded by Team White. So it's a 2-point ball game with just over 2.5 minutes remaining. Alajiki almost loses the handle. Finds Hildreth out to Sagna. Great extra pass to Grant in the corner. Long on the free ball. Alajiki keeps it alive, but only to the team black. Agu has it. Agu goes up. Doesn't finish. Sagna can't grab the rebound. And we are all tied up at 78 apiece, forcing head coach Craig Nichol into a timeout for Team White. And boy, do we have a game on our hands now.
And this is where you go with your best 5, the 5 that you feel the most confident with on the day. Both teams are in team fouls, so it will be shooting fouls the rest of the way. And you almost feel like it's going to take an MVP performance in the last couple of minutes to get one of the teams ahead, the other one put them in pole position to take this game. Will it be Cameron Hildreth? Will it be Veron Eze? Will it be Tomiwa Sulaiman who will take their team over the top to be able to win this game and have bragging rights for the next 12 months? When you represent Team Black or Team White, outside of Hoopsfix circles, it might not seem like a big thing, but I know the players have been trash talking. I even had some of the boys yesterday from Team White talking trash to us because we lost, and I know it means something to all of the players.
Definitely does. And on that sort of vein, just want to give a big shout out as well to Ethan Damerum from Team Black today as well, who was out injured after breaking his ankle just a couple of weeks ago playing in the 3-on-3 competition up in Manchester. So commiserations to him on not being involved today, but a great breakout season for him as well, enjoying plenty of success, winning the ABL Championship title. He became a big part of our Loughborough University squad too in Division 1, and just a really great season for him, and just a shame that he couldn't cap it off by being out on the floor today.
What an honour to be selected, though, to know that you're in the top 24 players in the country in your class. So, yeah, what an honour. Sad he can't be here, but if he was in the underclassmen game, maybe he has a chance for the upperclassmen next year.
So Hildreth now has it, shaking and baking, gets to the rack. No good. Ball doesn't go out of bounds. It's saved. And Team Black have it. McGlasson stops, pops from 3, drills it, and Team Black have their first lead in about 2.5 quarters.
Huge shot by Lewis McGlasson.
Sagna stripped by Kaboza. Kaboza can't make the layup under pressure from Soshan. Agu gets the rebound though, he goes up, gets his own board, and he's fouled. My goodness. I need to catch my breath for a second.
What a gutsy shot by Lewis McGlasson in transition too.
Yeah, that's a big time shot from Lewis McGlasson, who we saw in the 3-point contest yesterday. So Agu at the line shooting 2. Makes the first, makes it a 4-point ball game for Team Black.
What a turnaround in the last couple of minutes.
Agu makes the second. So it's a 5-point game now for Black. Josh Uduje splits the lane up and under, can't get the finish to go. Veron Eze has it, finds Agu. Agu ahead to McGlasson in the corner for 3. It's good! And now an 8-point advantage for Team Black. They're celebrating as if they know that the win is in the bag, but there's a long way to go with 1 minute and 15 remaining.
Troy Cully and Alexis Lewis just looked at each other and gave each other a high five, like this was all part of the plan.
So with 1 minute 15 and an 8-point advantage for Team Black, that would mean MVP could go one of 2 ways, really. Tomiwa Sulaiman with 17 points and 6 rebounds. With Veron Eze with 19 points and 7 rebounds, added 4 assists to that total as well. I mean, I can't call it between either of those two.
I'm going to make a coach's comment here and say that there's still a long time to go and the game's not over yet. We'll see what happens in the next 1 minute and 15, but those two are looking like the strong favourites at the moment.
And there's some There's some free socks being given out now, courtesy of our sponsors, Nike. And we want to give a big thank you to all of our other sponsors as well. Molten for supplying the basketballs, Sports Serve Limited for the court markings, 5 or 6 for the Brandon pregame. And our other sponsors, some of which are in the building today as well. ESPN Player, Let Me Play, and Always Ball In. Just a huge thank you for all of your support, as always, in the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic. And it'll be Josh Uduje to inbound for Team White into Jeremy Soshan. And they need a score on this possession as Soshan fakes the handoff. And it's a turnover for Team White. So Eze has it for Team Black. And after trailing by as much as 8, they now lead by 8. And Coach Troy Cully hasn't taken a timeout or game for Team Black. And they just got the job done for him. Kaboza inside, up and under off the spin, and it's a 10-point game. We've got another sub here as Uduje and Alajiki head to the bench. Price checks in alongside Chive.
Just back to your point about Troy Cully not using his timeout so far. One thing that will do is leave him in a really strong position in the last few seconds of a game, being able to make some situational timeouts, which is great.
Hildreth from deep, and it's a 7-point game. Surely they can't, surely. They go ahead to Sulaiman. Sulaiman contested by Hildreth. An advance pass to Sagna, who pulls up from 3 in transition. Price is there to tip it home, and it's a 5-point game. Agu, and Agu is fouled by Hildreth, but a quick five-point tear for Team White.
Comeback was on.
Yeah, Craig Nichols sprinting down the sideline, almost on court.
Troy Cully didn't flinch, he just looked over at us and winked. No stress.
So Franklin Agu at the line. No pressure on the young man here. He could ice the game. Misses the first. 5-point game, 20.9. If he makes this, it's still a 2-possession ball game.
1 timeout left?
1 timeout left for Coach Nickel. And he will take it if he makes it, of which he doesn't. So Team White have got to go. Sagna steps into the 3. No good. Rebounded by Soshan. Soshan gets out to the 3-point line. He banks it home. Jeremy Soshan, it's a 2-point ball game. And Troy Cully is going to take timeout.
What are we watching right here? Huge shot by Jeremy Soshan.
My goodness, what a rebound by Soshan. Finds the 3-point line, fading away, banks it home. And it's a 2-point ball game.
This is what leaves Troy in a position of strength, though, that he still has 2 more timeouts after this 2 in case he doesn't like something he sees.
Well, no, he only has 1 because he didn't take the first before the 2 minutes. So actually, but still 2 timeouts with 10 seconds remaining, like you say, does put him in a strong position. But my goodness, what a shot by Jeremy Soshan. And both teams also in team fouls now. So 88-86. And the crowd, after the free t-shirt, was just flung into the crowd. Didn't make his way past the first row. So let's see what we've got here, ladies and gentlemen, in the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic from the Brixton Rec. It's the underclassmen game between Team White and Team Black. And it'll be a Team Black ball from the sideline. And we're just waiting to see where the ball will be inbounded from. The new rule can either be from the baseline under your own basket or from 3/4 court, and it's going to be 3/4 court.
So many coaches have different theories on this. Some want to keep it in the back court so you've got more space. Some want to get it as far away from the basket as possible.
it's going to be Veron Eze to inbound. Gets it in, gets it back, kicks out to McGlasson for 2. It's good! And Coach Nicol will take his timeout with 5.2 seconds remaining. And that's a big time shot from Lewis McGlasson. He had his toe on the line.
I'm shocked he shot the ball. It's an all-star game.
2. So that was a 2. And I think the scoreboard in the building is saying 91-86, but they'll correct that so that it's 90-86.
Talk about the nail in the coffin, though. It's
wow, yeah.
10 seconds left. You don't need to shoot the ball. You just need to dribble the timeout. But they went for the 3 and made it.
And we have 2 more events after this coming. We have the dunk contest straight after this. And then we'll have the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic Class of 2019 game. My goodness, what basketball action we are being treated to here at the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic in Brixton. And the capacity sellout crowd. They've all been up on their feet on multiple occasions. Chive to inbound for Team White. Chive gets it into Hildreth. Hildreth goes past the defender with the fake. Can't make it. It's rebounded by Kaboza. And Team Black are your 2019 underclassmen champions, winning 90-86. Make sure you stay with us as we will go through the announcement of the MVP. And then I think we may try and get the MVP on a quick interview if we can do, but it all depends on timing. So bear with us whilst we wait for both teams to go through the customary handshakes and then take the floor for the announcement of the MVP. But what an advert for junior British basketball. And it's pretty safe to say next year's Classic is probably in safe hands already.
Yeah, the whole gym feels electric at the moment. And you don't have supporters of either team. It's an all-star game, but the whole crowd was involved. Guys played a great brand of basketball. And in the last 5 minutes, it really, really picked up. And Team Black really came from nowhere. They were down the whole game and came back and just showed their will, stamped their authority, and picked up a great, great win. Last 30 seconds was absolutely incredible.
So both teams now just going down the line and shaking hands, and again that sense of community really comes out strong as both teams go through the customary handshakes, and the referees as well. Big shout out to the referees because we've seen them be involved across the day. And to hear Hadget just coming in, getting our opinion on who he thinks should be MVP. My bet is to go with Sulaiman, but I think you're split, Jackson.
Yeah, I feel like Veron had an all-round consistent game, but we'll see. We'll see. They're very, very close on the stats. I think really up to the judges or whoever's picking the MVP to separate the two, which I wouldn't find hard. I would find very difficult.
Yeah, I hope that vote from us there wasn't a vote as to who we were because we split. So
we've got Teddy Okirefor about to present the MVP award, GB International.
Yeah, awesome to see him in the building alongside some of the GB internationals as well. Obi Soko also here. Orlan Jackman I can see down there on the far side as well.
Ryan Martin's in the house.
I mean, that's just great, isn't it? For those guys to come out and support the young guys and show them that they actually value what they're doing and the grind that they're putting in, and that they've been there and done that, and that they can reap the rewards in the same way. If anything, some of those older guys have had to put in more work and have been lucky to get the more exposure that they've got in order to get to where they've got to. Some of these young guys now don't really know how good they've got it.
YouTube wasn't as big of a factor when some of those guys were younger, and you just couldn't get access to US coaches in the same way. So, Ryan, Ovi, they definitely came up the hard way. Ovi went to Bethel High School and came up the difficult way over there, and then went to UAB, and Ryan went to Brixton Academy up in New Hampton in the States, and essentially then played his way through junior college. So they didn't come up the easy way. Teddy also went to prep school, so it's a slightly different route back in the day, but they're all here and they're celebrating the young stars of tomorrow.
And now we are going through the MVP announcement. And a round of applause for Teddy to present the award. And Simon Hosanna is just announcing to the crowd who that's going to be. And it is down to 2 players, so.
So, ladies and gentlemen, representing Team Black, representing West Nottingham Academy.
So, Team Black, and my choice from West Nottingham Academy with 17 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, and that big-time charge is Tomiwa Sulaiman, who takes home the MVP honours.
My second loss of the weekend. I'm going to stop competing now. Whatever you say is the MVP of the next game, I'll go with it.
I don't want to put it out there, but you also backed Imogen Cook in the 3-point shootout, so.
I'll back Imogen again. I'll stick with it. If they have the 3-point shootout again today, I'll still be right.
Yeah, big shout out to Imogen, but I'll chalk that down as a third L rather than a second for Jackson. But for those of you that are at home, thank you for joining us for today's Hoopsfix All-Star Classic. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to have time to grab Tomiwa because we need to get the next stream going, which is going to be the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic Dunk Contest, which is going to get underway in 5 to 10 minutes time. So make sure that you head on over to the next stream, which is on our YouTube page. And also, if you go to the Hoopsfix website, you can find the link there as well. So thank you for joining us from the Brixton Rec for the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic. I've been Liam Jefferson. I've been joined by Jackson Gibbons. Thank you once again, and hopefully we see you at our next game.